grab the sprinters. You know we just getting started, but we no beginners. Pray to me, she on her knees.
Welcome everyone to the Best Damn Podcast. I am your host, John Keane. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Ask that you please add, follow, and check us out. Instagram, Facebook, Best Damn Podcast, Twitter, The Real Best Damn, and wherever you're watching from, make sure to hit that like, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and share this link. It helps me to get it out there, that way new people can find us. Also, make sure to check out our tarot readings. I think I got all but 4 signs for this month's reads or whatever. Check out the daily reads as well. And if you'd like to book your own reading, the information is in the description box down below. I'll announce all that at the end of the video as well. And those who'd like to donate support to the channel as well, information's down there also. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys that join me. Especially, now. It's like, it's become really difficult just to even try to get messages out like this. And this is just kind of part of what we're going to be talking about tonight, really, And I titled it The New World because that's what it feels like we have entered into. It's like, it's kind of beyond a new world, really. It's like a new paradigm, almost like a new reality. And each and every one of us have been challenged as human beings to really level up consciously and bring forth a new version of ourselves, right? And it's like, every time you see movies and shit, and it was like, it reminds me of The Day the Earth Stood Still, where, the aliens talking to the old wise man that's, he studies all this shit or whatever. You guys might remember the movie, and he's like telling them, he's like, don't rob us of our moment, on the precipice of destruction to change. And sometimes that's exactly what it takes to get people's attention, And we see this in a million different variations, in a million different ways, really, if you think about it. Sometimes we need to know what we don't want to know what we do. Sometimes we have to be in danger of losing something to really, truly value it, or even people in our lives, right? And I feel like that's where reality has taken us. I talk all the time about polarities and things like that, and what my beliefs is on the hidden hand and how we're kind of being guided through the spiritual realm into this new Aquarian age that we're now entering into. And one of the things I believe is that the reason you see so much evil and so much control being forced down your neck, the reason you see your rights, your independence, your freedom of speech, your right to fucking exist and to live and to breathe and to be a human being, to be threatened the way that it is now, it's to wake something up inside of you, Those who don't have that fire ignited inside by the age we live in now, are they truly alive anyways? Is there really a spark of life in them at all? If they're unaffected, truly unaffected by what we're all witnessing each and every day as it gets progressively more and more complicated. I don't want to say worse or better, because I guess it all depends on your perspective, your point of view, and how you choose to look at things. But if it isn't enough to shake your ass awake at this point, are you truly alive anyways? Are you truly conscious anyways? Is there any real, true, living spirit inside you anyways? And it's like, life is such a gift. Freedom is such a gift. Creation is such a gift. It's like, Should it even be given to those who aren't willing to fight for it? You know? Those who aren't willing to fight for this gift that we call life. You know? Do they truly deserve it to begin with? Is that what the challenge is? Is this God or the universe or whatever the fuck you believe in putting humanity to like the ultimate test? And think about it. If you're playing a video game, and a lot of people believe we live in something very similar to a video game, like a simulation of sorts. When you get to the end of a stage, like an end of a round, and or the end of the game, you fight the big boss, right? It's like you've came to the end. It's now like a big challenge. I imagine that it would kind of be similar at the end of an age. It's like, what lessons did you take out of this epoch? What lessons did you collectively gain out of this cycle? I think one lesson we've all learned is that if we allow ourselves to be complacent and we allow ourselves to be too passive and too submissive and all of that, then everything that we love and hold sacred will be snatched right out the fuck from under us. That being enlightened or being full of love protects. Love fights. Right? Love defends, especially what it loves. And that some things are worth fighting for. Life is worth fighting for. Freedom is worth fighting for. A lot of people, I feel like, would rather live on their knees, than to die free. But I don't have that mindset. I look around me now, and I'll be honest with you, even tonight as we go through a lot of this shit, I'm hard-pressed to even read this stuff because I know how fake it all is. Like, the whole goddamn thing is an illusion. Reality is truly what you make of it. And that's facts. Reality is truly what you make of it. And I hate to say it, guys, there are people out there, and lots of people out there, that rather than manifest their own reality, rather than pursue their own goals, their own dreams, and be their own unique person, they would rather take what you have because it's easier. And that's that kind of elitist mentality. It's like, why put in the work ourselves if we can have you do the work for us? If we can have you manifest for us? You'll catch all the bad karma for all the bullshit, right? And we still achieve all of our agendas and you lose. This is why it's so important to become sovereign, especially in a spiritual sense. I mean, you're pretty well fucked in a physical sense, if you think about it. They get you, the first moments you come into this reality, And we could get into like legalese and maritime law and all of that with the doctor and putting in, hitting you on the sole of your feet and all of that shit. And maybe we'll do that in another video. I'm sure you guys a lot of you are familiar with that. But it's like they're making a claim on your being, indoctrinating you into a system, taking ownership over your vessel from the moment you arrive in this reality. The only thing you truly have is your spirit. That's what animates everything anyways. That's all you need. But we've allowed ourselves to become spiritually enslaved as well. It's quite wild when you think of it. What we're actually up against, the magic, all of it. Thank you guys for joining me, by the way. But the magic that we're up against is powerful. you know? I was listening to this thing the other day and it was talking about, you know, the word or words. And we've all heard, or at least you have if you watch this channel, how, you know, the spelling of the word, right? We understand or stand under the spelling of the word. And I never really, and we even hear in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and it was good, and all of this. And I never truly grasped the gravity of words until just the other day. I heard someone speaking about this actually, and they said, without words, without language, we can't even communicate to ourselves. Right? Now think about that. Your thoughts have no method of communicating with what you're thinking to yourself without words. Right? Like, it's that fucking powerful. You are not conscious without language. It's that fucking powerful. So consciousness in itself kind of derives out of language. And that's why we see how whenever we get lost and we're without compass and we need guidance and we want to understand, you know, exactly what all of this means, that we're faced with each and every day. We look at the etymology of the words. And let me pull up here. I have a chat box on me. Let me make sure I got a chat over here. Let me say hello to Mist and Kimberly F. and Jacques Renew. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all of you. Melopedia Britannica, Christina Lasia, Graceful Heart, Shelley Philippi. These are all people that have been watching for a very long time. I do have like fucking 15 different channels going tonight. I wanted to go old school on this one and just really hit the multi-stream. And I hate to tell you, probably everything you're going to see tonight is fake. So we will try to show the occulted side of this and try to give you the esoteric meaning as we go along. And I will try to give you my opinion if you give a shit about what my opinion is. But ultimately, I really want to, boil this down to time. Time appears to be running out, at least, on how much time we're going to be allotted to snap out of the dream before they pull the plug on all of this. You know? I think, and I know, you know, COVID and all of that, the Great Reset was the beginning of an end. You know, this is a mass culling, the Depop plot, whatever. I've done a million videos on this, and we've slow walked it all the way through 30,000 troops occupying the Capitol, the arrival of Trump, and the fucking controlled opposition to Biden, and the double-mindedness, and the asteroid Apophis, and the 42 months, and it's like, god damn, over and over and over, we have articulated what the script of this program, this narrative that we're being fed, is trying to convey to us. And it's that there's nothing new under the sun. And you know why there's nothing new under the sun? Because we refuse to learn from the past. We refuse to do something different whenever this time comes around. I think about like what happened to the Mayans and the civilizations that just fucking disappeared off the face of the earth. Maybe it wasn't something bad at all. Maybe they just got it. You know? Maybe they snapped out of the dream. Maybe they woke up. Maybe they decided to stop participating. Maybe they decided to stop playing the fucking game because they knew that it was rigged and they were going to lose no matter what if they played. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. But I know in our modern society, and what we see taking place now, you can see where the next and I don't know if it'd be like a devolution, like de-evolution of this matrix paradigm is going. We are in a downward spiral is what it appears to be. This mirror that continuously, creates a new reflection, and it's a trap within a trap within a trap within a trap. I wonder how many fucking levels down into a holographic reality we already are. That's the scary thought, I wonder if that's why whenever you wake up, it's like one awakening, one ascension after another. Like these layers and layers of layers, because you've been pinned into this system, this illusion, time and time again. It's a dream within a dream within a dream, like Inception, right? And artificial intelligence and technology is just the next dream. It's the next level, the next inception, that our consciousness is ultimately being copied and pasted onto. That's why it mimics the reality the way that it does, because it's operating on the same principles, right? It's just a knockoff version of what's already been created, as we are a knockoff version of what's already been created in the ethers, right? So on and so forth. It's like this infinite fucking mirror of realities that we find ourselves in. Like a hall of mirrors, a fun house. It's fucking wild when you think about it. But if it is that way, I wonder if we had the ability to change one reality, if that would essentially change them all. Everything that we are connected to. And that's kind of what gives me hope. What kind of gives me hope as well is that there is a certain point, and I believe, and not just believe, I know, there is a certain point when we reach a conscious awakening, a conscious shift, that this matrix, this reality, it does lose its hold on you. How do I know? I've reached that point. I can't hold that frequency or vibration all the time yet, but I've shifted in and out of it. And I've seen whenever I've been able to tap into it that whatever it is that holds us here, it loses its grip. And that's why it's so dangerous for people like myself to speak what I speak, or people like you, to share what you share or do what you do. Because it's contagious. It has a ripple effect. And if there wasn't enough of us to hold this illusion together, well, then those that are stuck feeding on it, I think would go right down the drain with it. Everything is fractals and portals. Well, yeah, we are fractals of, and we can get into, golden ratios and Fibonacci sequence and all of that. We've talked about this shit for years now. We are part of something infinite. We're part of something great. We're part of something so much bigger than anything we can perceive through our five senses. It's time that we really learn how to see. And I mean truly see. It's time that we learn what it actually means to be in real alignment, and how to balance ourselves no matter what's going on around us, and learn that the reality that we are witnessing through our senses is a very limited fraction of the experience that's actually taking place, and that it is all under our control. If we're still in the middle of this ocean of consciousness, then our reality becomes still. We're allowing ourselves to be kind of tossed to and fro by all the things that are going on, and they do this to us, to keep us emotional. That way we can't think logically about what's taking place. That way we can't discern one thing from another, and it's just one illusion after the other, and it's meant to get you sucked in. That way you're buying into the fucking bullshit. That way you continue to divide yourself, because they understand that a house divided against itself cannot stand. You know who the house is? It's all of us. We are one fucking entity, believe it or not. One spirit, believe it or not. And the more we buy into the illusion of division and separation, the weaker we get. I seem really tired. I am tired. I've been doing this for a lot of years, but it's taken on a new shape for me just recently. So I'm going to see it all the way through. I'm going to obviously see it out to the end. And I hope you guys will do the same. And I hope you will continue, you'll understand that you're leaders. You really are. If you're here at this point now, if you're at the level of consciousness that a lot of you are at, you are leaders. You are anchoring the new world that's being birthed, and it's going to depend on how healthy you are in here, in your heart. That's what's going to come outward. That's what's going to be expressed. So it's you're so important to the future of all of us. And I don't know if people recognize that or know that or understand that. And communities like this and others are so important to all of it. And that's why you've seen such a concerted effort to silence all of this. And, and they try to bankrupt us all and, make us broke and censor us and cancel us. And they do all the shit they do. But if we continue to take care of each other and to just continue to invest in ourselves, we won't be stopped. Ultimately, it's a battle of will. It's don't allow the system to rob you of your moment. Because on the precipice of destruction, that's when evolution truly happens. And this is like a collective dark night of the soul, if you truly think about it. Right now, collectively, we're going through a dark night of the soul as a species, as one race, humanity, And this is our moment, in essence, to shine. This is our moment to overcome. This is our moment to shift polarities and to really, alchemize our true soul essence on a whole. Converting the iron into gold, but collectively. And I think, I know we're going to do it, one way or the other. That's why you should study the Word. Right. We're going to start here. Like I said, I want to thank all of you guys for joining me. Please, if you're in the chat tonight, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, whatever platform you're on. Subscribe, follow. Make sure you're checked in for the notifications. They won't send this to you on your feeds if you're not liking it and shit. So I just want to let you know that. If you're not seeing my videos on your feeds, it's because you're not liking the videos or you're not subscribed. Or both. And if you would consider donating to the channel, this is Virgo season. I love it. I'm a Virgo. It's my birthday coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited about this time because it represents astrologically this kind of self-nurturing and reorganization of everything. So it's I feel like we get a good opportunity to really love on ourselves during this season and really to kind of analyze everything and see where we're at and just kind of get our lives organized and together. So, I love this season. And if anybody else has a birthday in September, happy birthday to you as well. And so donate support to the channel. It helps me out a lot. Join us on Patreon, private content, and book a tarot reading if you're interested. So, as if nothing was planned, the CDC set to purchase 20 million pediatric COVID-19 you-know-whats pre-ordered in June, predicting a surge in September. COVID-19 test 2. How about that? I feel like we've seen this somewhere before. Like when all the patents for Moderna and all of that came out, it was actually like, what, 2017-ish or somewhere around there where they were actually coming out with this shit way ahead of time. And then we seen like the SPARS pandemic and, Event 201 and all these different exercises where they were in preparation for it as well. Just strange. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but hey, let's take a look at it anyways, right? It's not like, this is the only group of people that they didn't really get to lay the graphene to the last round, right? So the little ones, I'm sure, right? And it reminds me of, I feel bad for these people that are going after the little ones, because I feel like this is a karma that you definitely don't fucking want, but whatever. So the CDC is set to purchase 20 million pediatric COVID-19 jabs worth over $1.8 billion, according to the documents below. The order was preemptively organized in June, predicting a surge in September. And let's take a look at this here. Let's see if we can make this a little bigger. There we go. CDC's 3 pediatric C19 jab contracts were established to support the priority pediatric population served by Section 317 and VFC programs following the commercialization of COVID-19 jabs, which is projected to occur in September 2023, following the end of the federal government's National Response Vaccine Program. CDC's July 2023 C19 vaccine needs assessment established that approximately 16.75 million doses of pediatric C19 jabs were needed by the CDC's immunization awardee programs. The quantity exceeded the amount of pediatric vaccine available on CDC's COVID-19 vaccine contracts as awarded in June 2023 by approximately 15%, which is, weird. The 15%, we can get into the numerology of all of this. I'm sure a lot of you guys can figure this out yourself, but whatever. To address the unmet need, the CDC modified 2 of its 3 pediatric C19 vaccine contracts to increase the maximum ordering quantities on each contract. The agency was unable to conduct even a limited competition because of the compressed time frame under which the agency had to put these 2 modifications into place. This compressed time frame was created by several factors. First, CDC must begin the process of determining the appropriate funding obligation for each of these pediatric C19 contracts in early August 2023. So, sufficient funding is available upon the start of ordering in September 2023. Without an increase in the maximum ordering quantity for the 2 C19 contracts, CDC cannot finalize its plan to allocate funding required for each contract to meet immunization awardee demands per July. And I swear I have the yawns every time I do a video now. July, a live one at least. 2023 needs assessment. Second, it's because C19 vaccine manufacturers are finalizing their fall 2023 vaccine supply plans at this time. They must understand how many doses of vaccines are needed for the CDC's program to incorporate our program needs into their planning. Without an increase in the maximum ordering quantity for each contract now, making these increases the maximum ordering quantity, otherwise it may not be able to obtain additional vaccine doses later. Finally, CDC's 64 immunization awardees need clarity as to whether their full needs for pediatric C19 vaccines will be met through the vaccine program. To make critical budget and programmatic decisions, CDC must increase the maximum ordering quantities on these 2 contracts. Otherwise, immunization awardees will have to make budget decisions, assuming a lower quantity of vaccines will be available. In order to that, subsequently, the awardees' need will not be completely met. And dude, I just want to say this. When we were busting out the fucking handbooks and shit a few years ago, does this not feel really fucking eerie? Excuse me. Really eerie. How we've seen they had like this strategy to go after the elderly first, and then to go after, middle age, and then, so on and so forth, and then finally the little ones. And it's like, we're at the end of this. We're at the end of this. And I can't really think of anything else that would qualify more as a mark of the beast or anything like that than what we've seen with all this. When I think about it. I mean, if you haven't seen my videos, you can join us over on Patreon and, check out, the whole process as we went through this, and Luciferos, and, talking about the third temple, right? The abomination that causes desolation, right? In the third temple. This is your third temple. 1, 2, 3. The abomination that causes desolation, right? And how, our pineal is the magnetic pole of our body, and how this graphene is magnetic, and that's why we see the heart and brain things that we see, because, we give off the largest electromagnetic field through our ticker, and the magnetic pole of our body is in our third eye. And this is our spiritual antenna that allows the God frequency to come in, that allows us to level up, essentially, in our conscious state of awareness, is through here. So it appears as if that the powers that be, and keep in mind that government means to archon, to lord over or rule, right? To govern. Your mentality, to control your mind, essentially, to lord over your mind. And like I was saying, that word, right? We wouldn't even be able to communicate with ourselves through thoughts if we weren't able to have words to speak to ourselves. Okay? So controlling our mind, controlling our thoughts is essentially controlling that word. Right? Placing themselves on the throne of God. Right? And that's what Satan does, in essence, placing himself on the throne of God, which is the throne right here. This is your third temple. This is the throne. This is the seat of God within each and every one of us. This is how we communicate on a spiritual level with our Creator, which is ultimately the essence of our spiritual self, collectively and individually, and what animates everything within this reality. The oneness, the wholeness of it all. If there was some type of satanic agenda, let's just hypothetically say that there was, some ruling elite class, and not a benevolent hidden hand that is trying to push you towards a certain, means to justify an end, because they're truly benevolent and they want to see a raise of consciousness in humanity, like what I suggested, like those that are in such a high state of consciousness have this bird's eye view, right? And they're able to see the whole picture. So, yeah, they allow their shadow side to push the others towards the light, right? Because they know that they will be, diametrically opposed to whatever you try to force them into, right? And that's kind of like a good way in giving people a lot more credit than I think they deserve. But let's say there is an agenda to thin down the herd, if you will. Right? They know that most people don't value the life, like we were talking about at the beginning. They don't value this gift. They don't do the inner work, period. They don't give a fat fuck about nobody else in this world but themselves. And they don't work towards getting closer to God or any of that. Their lives really have no meaning. They're stuck in the hamster wheel of time and in the loop, and their whole life is lived out through a program. They don't even think their own fucking thoughts. They're non-player characters. There's nothing unique about them. And they see these people as the profane, as useless eaters, as just, expendable energy, as pawns on the chessboard of life. In this game we call the world, creation. And there was this plan to keep this shift and understand, if you have this deep knowing and you know the secrets, you know the mysteries, you know it all, right? You've got it locked, and your technologies hinges off of those same mysteries that have been hidden from the masses. The same awareness that is not available to most. To the point that your family lineages have bred to try to be able to tap into that frequency and create, more of the same type of being, an enlightened being, a super person, a super being, a super conscious person. And you're seeing the mindless sheep and zombies, throw this divine gift in the trash on a daily basis and trade it for shit, And you've decided now, as we shift into this new epoch, this new era, this new age, that you don't want all of these mindless numbnuts to be able to be sovereign. Right? That when they're not under your control, you've kept them dumbed down and suppressed for so long, these motherfuckers are going to destroy everything. Right? They're going to run a fucking rampage on the face of the earth if you allow them the freedom of conscious creation. So you got to try to put yourself in their shoes. They've held back all the truth from you for forever. And now there's going to be no more hiding it. There is no more hiding it. It's coming. It's here. Knowledge is increasing. Awareness is increasing. We're all waking up each and every day. So this plan, is ultimately to, debilitate each and every person from being able to tap into the new age, into the new frequency, that new freedom, that new promise of life, that new awareness where you're beyond control. And is it because they feel like you haven't earned it? Quite possibly, yeah. Most of you haven't. I don't know if any of us can truly, earn it outside of just doing the work ourselves. But nonetheless, this happens every so often on planet Earth, and it's like, a part of me wonders if we have learned our lessons from the past. And what we're actually trying to do now is, instead of allowing all the death and destruction, because keep in mind, if everybody can manifest freely, if the governors are taken off, so to speak, on our power to attract and our power to manifest, right, and our conscious ability as our gifts are reignited within each and every one of us, right? Imagine what that world would look like. We have a world of 8 billion restricted zombies, mindless fucks right now, who have absolutely zero control over their thoughts, their emotions, and themselves. Let alone with the ability to actually control, others and, things on a global scale or a collective scale, like what's coming and like what is becoming. Imagine if you allowed all those people total freedom. It would be fucking chaos. It would be fucking chaos. These are people that you have to understand their entire reality revolves around themselves. It's self-absorbed, self-centered, self-serving reality. That's their world. They have no empathy. They're totally out of touch with every person, animal, plant, everything on Earth. Zero connection. So imagine a disconnected ass, dumbed down person getting the power of the gods. And everything they think being able to manifest and come to fruition. With power. I imagine if you are the powers that be and you're You know, the all-seeing eye, if you will, the hidden hand, and you know what's going on. That would not be a reality you would want to see, because it would destroy all of us. You know, it would destroy all of us. So it looks like what this true agenda is that we're seeing now is something trying to prevent that. It's something trying to prevent that. I feel like we should have went about it very differently. I feel like if there was an effort, a concerted effort to truly educate humanity and make all of the mysteries and make all the knowledge and enlightenment available instead of indoctrinating into your illusory systems, right? That are designed to turn the host against itself, or that are designed to lock them into these false paradigms, right? We could have done something different, but that's not how it's happened. We've had people, parasites, feeding off of the masses, and very few feeding off of the masses for a very long time. And they have intentionally made you handicapped spiritually. That way you can't defend yourself, you know, from what's coming. You can't protect yourself from what's coming. You can't protect yourself from them, most of you. You know? And that's a sad reality. When I look at the plan, I mean, it's ingenious, I guess, right? Genetically modified foods and gene editing and sterilizing the population and the transhumanism and transgender and, you know, it's like to drive everybody right down into the pit together. The divide and conquer, and we all fell for it. We all fell for it. And a lot of times, guys, I hate to say it, but like, we want to blame the elites. We want to blame the New World Order. And you know what? We've created this, just like we did with God and religion. With God and religion, we created this guy in the fucking sky that's going to come save us from all our problems because we don't want to do the work ourselves. Hey God, I'm helpless. Please come down. Intervene for me. You know, because I don't want to actually do the work. I don't want to actually tap into my own divinity, so you intervene for me and save me from myself, my stupid ass self. Because I'm not willing to learn the lessons that you keep trying to teach me. But it's different. With the Illuminati and the New World Order, we're saying, hey, it's this external demon, just like the devil. And it's none of our fault. It's a hidden hand. We're not responsible for what's taking place at all. It's not like for generations we haven't allowed this to happen. We've had ample fucking time to change this, guys. Just truth be told. Ample time. And it's not a popular opinion, the one I'm saying right now at all. But I don't really give a shit. It's the truth. The more we continue to blame the elites, the more we continue to blame the Illuminati and the New World Order, the more we continue to dig ourselves deeper into our own graves. It is only up to you at the end of the day. Nobody's coming to save you. And if somebody is bringing destruction, it's because you invited it. It's because you allowed it. By your choices. And And I hate to say it, I feel like that's like what true enlightenment is. It's like seeing that at the end of the day, it all does reside within you. You are responsible for everything you've created in your world, in your reality. It's your perception. Nobody else's. You see the glass is half full, it's because you fucking see it that way. Nobody made you. You chose to listen. You chose to follow. You chose to be silent. You chose to be complacent. You chose to do nothing. You chose to be ignorant. You chose to be lazy. You chose death. You chose death. And that's a hard fucking pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. When we look in the mirror. And I feel like that's one of the strongest gifts we can really have. Is the ability to see our fuck-ups and the ability to see our mistakes and being willing to be honest about it and really try to correct it. Because the more we continue to lie to ourselves and we continue to create these boogeymen to blame all our shit on, it doesn't mean that there's not government entities and senators and all of this shit that are up to fuck shit. Hell yeah, there is. But it's not the cause for all your goddamn problems. Not even close. Not even close. You give it power because you want to. Because it's convenient for you to not be responsible for your own shortcomings. Our own shortcomings. The consequences of this lower population protection include increases in preventable illnesses, hospitalizations, and deaths among vulnerable U.S. children. In addition, there would be an increased burden on the U.S. healthcare system during the winter 2023-2024 respiratory season. The increase in preventable C-19 pediatric morbidity and mortality, as well as the increased burden on the U.S. healthcare system, it would have constituted serious injury. And think about that. They're coming after the kids now, is what they're telling you. Did you think it was going to stop with you is a question. You thought if you rolled over and was a pussy that they was just going to leave you alone? You want to know the mentality of a bully? And this is something I learned when I was in prison, actually. When I was young, when I went, by the way. Fuck you if you judge me. I don't really care anyways. But I noticed something about bullies. Like, bullies love to take something that's easy. You know? It's like, if you fight back and you stand up for yourself, people don't fuck with you. You know? They don't fuck with you. They know they gotta get it the hard way. You know, they know you're gonna fight for it. You're gonna cause trouble. You're gonna wreak havoc. You're not gonna go down without a fight. You're not gonna just fucking lay down and let them walk all over you and take whatever they want. But it's those that have this belief that if they just put their head down and go along with whatever they're being told, that somehow that's going to make life easier. No, my friend, it's not. It's not. It's going to let them know not only can they take it from you, but they can then take it from your wife, and then take it from your children, and then take it from whoever the fuck they want to take it from that's connected to you. Because your bitch ass won't do anything about it. You know, if you can't even make a stand when it comes to a job you can fucking replace, you can get a new job. I don't give a shit what field you're in. You can start over and do a new field. Trust me, I have to do it. They've shut my shit totally down. I don't get no support anymore. You know, I've had to get 9 to 5s and all that shit. You can get a new job. You know, it happens. I'll break my back before I stop speaking the truth. I know that. I'll break my fucking back digging ditches and shoveling shit with no donations and no support before I stop speaking the truth. I know that. And I know everybody else has that same option. You know. It's on what's important to you. And sometimes, like I said at the very beginning of the show, and I love it when things come full circle like this, because then it really sinks in to people. Sometimes we have to know what we don't want to know what we do. Sometimes we have to experience shit that puts a bad taste in our mouth. You know, to know that's just like not for us. We have to be victimized by some shit to no longer be the victim. And I know that a lot of people that chose their careers and all of that, you know, some of them probably don't regret it at all right now. But I have a feeling that probably won't be the case forever. Because they're not going to stop, but they're going to continue to boost you till you have no fucking system left. Bet that. Join us on Patreon, watch the private videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking, you know. I've done all the work to back it up for years. And I don't just do tarot videos either, you know. Like, this is what I actually have been doing. This is the real body of work that I've been doing for years. This is where my real passion is in people, is in trying. And maybe it's my fault. You know, for some of it, I feel like I've given up on a lot of people. You know, and it's easy to do. We see those around us giving up on themselves, and it's like, fuck, can I fight for you if you won't fight for yourself? I can't force you to see it my way. I don't want to. I want you to want to see it with your own eyes. And if you don't make it your own truth, then it's just me fucking talking. I truly believe that the people that watch this channel and that have, you know, witnessed all of this with me, like, there's something special about those people. Like, I know it. Deep down in my heart, I know it. Like, I feel it. And I explain it, but I feel it. That's why they don't conform. That's why they've been targeted by the fucking governments and cults and all the shit they went through, just like me. You know, I don't sit and talk about the shit anymore because I don't want to give glory and attention to it or energy to it. But at one point in time, guys, my life has been made a fucking living hell for doing this. I've lost everything 100 times over. I've been homeless. I've had attempts on my life. Just everything. And to this day, you know, I still go through shit for this. And then probably till I die I will, you know, and so will you. And so will you, but eventually a day will come where no matter what they do, won't be strong enough to have an effect on us if we truly tap in and rise above what's going on around us. And we have that ability. I promise you we do. We have that ability. It starts with you. It starts with caring. Caring about more than, you know, your own little sphere of influence. It's like you really don't start seeing the effect you can have on the world till you start having an effect on the world. I swear to God. And that sounds like really weird to even say. It's like, oh, of course not, you know? But it's like, having an effect on the world is just having an effect on other people. Start trying to change other people's life and watch how your fucking life changes. You know? Start caring about other people and watch how your life changes. The universe may test you. They may, you know, if you are full of love, they may break your heart over and fucking over and fucking over to see if you're truly made of love. You know, or you'll become bitter and quit. If you're selfless, the universe may test you. They may have people steal from you and lie to you and take from you to see if you'll just continue to give. And that's where we all keep failing the test. We let life take away our strengths and take away our gifts and take away the things that fucking make us beautiful and the things that fucking make us special. Because of what people have done to us, because of our experiences. We say, okay, I'm done speaking the truth because I don't have a fucking impact on this world. They continue to silence me. They continue to censor me. I quit. Well, that's what they want you to do. I'm done giving to charity. I'm done helping people who need help because people steal from me and lie to me and take from me. That's what they want you to do. I'm done opening my heart up and I'm done loving people because everybody abuses me and everybody takes advantage of me. That's what they want you to do. I'm done standing up for those who can't fucking stand up for themselves because they don't even care about themselves. That's what they want you to do. Like, if you understand how it really, really works, you understand the only real power you have is the good that you do. And not for yourself, for others. That's how your power multiplies and comes back to you. The same way that these motherfuckers are trying to coast off of your power of manifestation and your goodness, right? It's because they understand the way that consciousness works. And they know that it amplifies, and they know that it's a wave, and that it carries itself throughout the collective. That's the same way you could be using it to benefit yourself and everyone around you. When you turn your focus towards others in a positive way, the only thing that you have to reflect back towards you is positivity. Did you know that? Same way when you turn yourself towards truth, right? Clarity. And that's what you speak towards others. The only thing that comes back to you is real shit. True shit. You're going to see the world the way it is. Trust me on that. You might not like what you see, but you'll see it nonetheless. And if you are fearless, and you will be if you continue to stare, you continue to look, you continue to fight, you don't give up, you continue to love. Eventually all the fear leaves you, you know. And it's ultimately the fear of death that holds all of us at the end of the day. So it's getting rid of that fear ultimately destroys all fear. Once you become fearless, you know, it doesn't matter what you're shown. You know, it won't be able to shake you. It won't be able to deter you. And it's the same way with negativity. Like, it doesn't matter what other people do. It won't be able to stop you from being you. Do you understand that's how they're controlling you? Right now. All of you. Like, you don't give because people take advantage. You don't love because people take advantage. You see what I'm saying? Like, they are winning. And it's because you're allowing them to. If I wanted you to not do anything to help this world to counter, my agenda if I'm some negative force, right? Like what a lot of you believe they are. That's what I would do, Every time you give to somebody, I'd make you regret it. I'd have them take advantage of you or steal from you or lie to you. Every time you love somebody, I'd make you regret it. I'd have them not reciprocate and love you back or lie to you or hurt you or betray you in some way. That way you wouldn't open up again. It's like you're victimizing yourself. You're not punishing the outside world. You're punishing yourself when you do these things. You're allowing the reality to control you instead of you controlling the reality. Do you understand me? It's the same way with these news articles. I'll just show you. It's you that's reacting to what you're seeing. That's what gets your panties in a bunch when Trump comes up and tells you to resist and all of that, right? It's your reaction, right? You're no longer in the driver's seat. You're being driven because you're reacting to what you're seeing. You're reacting to what you're showing. That's entertainment in a nutshell. I show you an image, you laugh. I show you an image, you get scared. I show you an image, you cry. Right? I trigger an emotional response in some way, and when I have you in your emotions, you're no longer thinking. Right? Your discernment's gone. You don't have the ability to be critical anymore. You're in your feels now. And every person that ever tries to, show what's really happening, show what's really going on, not all of them end up making it. Matter of fact, we'll show this little clip right here. Make sure you guys have sound.
Solar Nation.
Salutations YouTube, it's the Solar Jishen, the cosmic reporter, sourcing life from the mountains of Ecuador, high altitude. Today's topic of interest is the real reason for the assassination of Prodigy of Mobb Deep. And yeah, it goes deep, so hold on to your seat. So yeah, it's a classic example of what we see time and time again in the entertainment industry. When any high-profile individual awakens to the true nature of the game at play on Earth in this day and age and begins to fearlessly speak on it. And we give salutations and respect to Prodigy because he became very aware of what he'd gotten into. As somebody who'd contracted to various record labels in exchange for finance and position in the industry, he knew that if he spoke on the truth that he'd awoken to, he'd most certainly be taken out. This is a standard clause in many contracts. Prince, Michael Jackson, Tupac, Lisa Left Eye Lopez are but a few examples of artists who shared the same fate. Now, along with the knowing that he'd be targeted, he also knew that the flesh body was not himself, and that by revealing the truth en masse with the level of influence that he had, he'd be able to redeem himself to some extent within the immortal soul. So let's get into this now. What truth had Prodigy become aware of? Firstly, he came to see the true nature of the energetic, mental, and spiritual warfare being waged upon all people of the earth. Secondly, he saw that the warfare was mostly concentrated upon black people in order to harvest their high solar charge to fuel the demonic paradigm that we see running rife on Earth in this day and age. Thirdly, he was very well aware of members of the entertainment industry such as Jay-Z, who also know the true nature of the spell being cast over the people, but have chosen to accept a higher rank in the social order in exchange for further warping the minds of the people, knowing that it's the collective mind that governs the collective reality. That's right, people. You're living in a world where most are under intense mind control and they have no idea about it. And Prodigy began to expose this. So, point one. energetic and mental manipulation is very, very real. Think about it. If you bring a powerful microscope to any solid object, at the deepest level, you'll see that it is a coagulated mass of energy in motion. If you think about your own thoughts and feelings, what are they but different energetic signatures that correlate to different frequencies of input and output? Check this for the rap. How different is your life experience depending on the thought and feeling states that you may be in any given moment?
And that's why they have sayings like product of my environment and things like that. It's because your environment's dog shit, right? You're trained to think dog shit and you live dog shit, you know. And it's like any person with influence, and we know this, normally doesn't get there or doesn't exceed a certain amount of influence without some sort of capitulation or whatnot. But they make examples out of people like Prodigy, and I actually like Mobb Deep. That way, if you are a person that wants to attain influence in some way, or you are a person that wants to speak out in some way, it's going to instill the fear into you that you will lose your life for doing the very same thing. And ultimately, is what he's saying is like, once you have transcended a certain point, like you understand that the physical vessel isn't even you. Like it's such a small fragment of who you actually are that it's not funny. Guys, I mean this. One of the realizations I've been coming to lately is like just how small this is, like as compared to the whole of me, right? The illusion is to make you think that you are the micro, right? You're the microcosm within all of this. When the truth be told, you are the macro. You're all of it, right? This connectedness of collected consciousness. We look at the earth as a whole, and I've talked about this, how it represents the collective third eye of all of humanity. It's because all of humanity truly is one spirit, one living soul that animates each and every one of us, and we're all broken down into these pieces. We're an individual mass thinking that we're actually separate from one another, when truth be told, we're part of one giant living being, which is God. We believe in aliens and angels and demons and all these other entities, which are just also manifestations of ourself, projections of ourself, different dimensional aspects of ourself. This collective is so vast and so wide, like what he is saying, each energetic frequency correlates to a different archetypical expression. And these archetypical expressions we see played out in the zodiac, in the subconscious mind, in a million different variations. And you look to religion, it's packed full of it, from Jesus to Peter to Paul, right? These are all different archetypical expressions of the collective consciousness, okay? And some people can agree or disagree. That's up to you. Don't give a shit, right? If you're not there yet, watch something else until you do get there. We're so close to the end of all of this, or so close to, people like myself not even being able to speak on these type of platforms, that I have no time to kind of go back and nurse the ones that, aren't where we are. And that doesn't mean we're better than anyone or we're ahead of anyone or anything like that. We're just all at different places at different times. At the end of the day, I feel like, we'll all ultimately arrive at the same place, where we're meant to.
Now let's look at the nature of the mainstream media and entertainment industry today. We see mass propagation of warfare, fear-mongering, misused sexuality, drug abuse, conflict, violence, and other stimuli that are proven to energetically alter the human mind, energy system, and biology in a subversive manner. People then base their identities upon these stimuli, and by the power of thought, they literally open energetic vortices through which negative etheric entities enter and live by parasitically using the human being as a host.
Now think about that, and as an example of these energetic vortices that he's talking about opening up and allowing these parasitic entities to enter within someone. Let's say we're practicing the Goetia, right? And we're wanting to bring in different demonic entities to attract or open up different parts of the collective unconscious, right? Same thing is happening. The spirit of Jezebel or something like that. Once you have opened yourself up, or pharmakia, right? If it's drugs, once you're open yourself up to that, you have created an attachment. A detachment is a fragment or a fracture in our psyche or our consciousness, right? And wherever these fragments or fractures are created, we build altars, right? Because it's like this severance of our electrical synapses that fire within our brain, as well as our spiritual self, okay? And these openings, if you will, allow for other entities to kind of intervene, interject. It's like we're giving place for something else to reside within us by giving ourselves to an external force, or elevating an external force above ourselves, right? By worshiping it, okay? Deifying it, or compromising our beliefs or our morals for it, right? And by giving place to that entity, which is, remember, an energetic frequency represented by an archetype, which is in essence a daemon, a mask, right? A persona, right? Like a Jezebel spirit. We then have to feed, right? That break in the psyche, you know, until we have released that attachment. And that break in the psyche is then, you know, siphoning off that energy that, you know, flows within us, because we are electromagnetic conduits for energy on every fucking fathomable level. We are energetic beings. But instead of us having this beautiful flow, right, of the energy within ourselves and being balanced and in harmony with all living beings and creation and the earth, we're off balance, and our vibe is all warped because we're being pulled in different areas. We're energetically leaking to these external entities and influences around us, and we're raising them or elevating them up over ourselves, and we become slaves to them in principle.
It's very real, very real. With just a little awareness, you can look at people and see when they're under such influence, and to what extent. The truth is, most people in modern society are controlled by these parasitic entities to one extent or another.
Absolutely.
Think. If you were a small handful of people and you wanted to maintain control over a large population, what better way to do it than to energetically manipulate them with thought forms that they believe to be their own? This is why the world is as it is today.
And you can't say that that's not happening, because it does happen through the television, radio waves, the internet. Matter of fact, there has been white papers through the Freedom of Information Act that have revealed fucking cell phone towers, water towers, all of this, with the CIA and the FBI putting frequencies into neighborhoods to make people more docile or make people more angry or sexually attracted, right? To experiment on them and actually see how they can influence people through energetic frequency. And you can call it directed energy weapons, 6th generation warfare, silent warfare. And every time I hear directed energy, you know, we hear a lot of shit like that makes us think of Maui and paradise and all of that, right? But how often do people actually think of the satellites that are beaming down on your ass every day? You know, or the fact that they blanket our skies with nanoparticulates to refract said magnetic influences to influence all of us collectively every day, right? What do you think these atmospheric rivers are? We never had any of that shit before. You know, it's the altering of the reality around us. Literally, through energy, they are altering the entire fucking reality. We don't even know, and this is the saddest part of it all. We believe that we know what time it is, what year it is, and all of that, right? We believe that. We believe we know what age we're going into. We believe that too. But we don't. The truth is, if they blacked out the goddamn skies with nanoparticulates and metals, which actually do bend and refract light, and can even have the ability to bend it and refract it in a way to create invisibility cloaks, right? So it's really a powerful mechanism to the manipulation of light energy. And remember, everything that we have is frequency, ourselves included, light and sound. We, in essence, we don't know what time it is. We don't know what age we're in. We don't know if the world ended 1,000 fucking years ago. And we're living in a holographic dream, that the aftermath. You know, a wisp, a breath of what used to be. If all the stars are already dead and the sun too. You don't know that. Why don't you know that? Because your reality is created by your perception, and you're perceiving electrical frequencies in the forms of audio vibratory waves and visual waves and things like that, which are electrical signals interpreted by your brain, giving you the perception that you put together in your fucking head of what you think is real, right? So what you have been told and what you believe to be true, you know, it reminds me of the Matrix when they find out, like, you know, what they thought was a world is nothing like it. Like the skies have already been scorched. The machines have already taken over. It's like a really creepy fucking, you know, idea or concept to think of, especially looking around today and where we find ourselves. You know, it's where everything can be so easily manipulated, and we see, you know, this hidden hand dabbling into everything around us. You know, from the visual waves of television and, you know, the audio waves of frequency and radio and, you know, the interconnected ethers of the internet, right? Which is World Wide Web trapping our consciousness, right? And these domains or demons, right? It's all too much of a coincidence if you truly think about it. And then when we look at, you know, a lot of the other things that are taking place with these different variants of something that very obviously compromises the physical vehicle from being able to translate spiritual energy and frequency as well. It's like that's kind of the last part or the last piece of the puzzle to totally hijack the reality and the soul within it, the spirit within it. Yeah. So when I say it's like we live in this new world or this altered reality, it's not just a saying. It's real. The reason your world seems so goddamn different than everybody else's is because it is. Those of you that are awake, those of you that have not been totally consumed and devoured by the system yet. All three of you, if there is any of you left. I feel like the last of the Mohicans, honestly. That's why your reality seems so differently. It's because it's actually not the same. You're not experiencing the same energetic vibrations as the rest of them. You're not seeing the same world as they're seeing. You're not hearing the same world as they're hearing. You're just not having the same experience as all of the people that have been lulled to sleep and, you know, hijacked by the archonic system anymore. And that's why it seems so goddamn different or alien to you. But the only alien in any of this at this point is you. You know? The only thing extraterrestrial, meaning outside of Terra, Terra the earth, outside of the psyche or the consciousness that's within the trap, is you.
Full of people who do not govern their own minds. And it's clear to see. This is why most people are internally at war with themselves and feel they have no choice but to live in a way that goes against the very soul of who they are. I told you it's deep. Point 2. If we look at the energetic, mental and physical state of black people today, we see that they are truly under the most severe attack of all people and have been for hundreds of years at the very, very least. Now, black people haven't always been at the bottom of the barrel of human civilization. They were once at the very top, creators of the most advanced civilizations known to man, and truly in tune with the universal rhythm, evidenced by the pyramid structures seen from Egypt to Peru, built by an advanced race of people over thousands of years. These great...
And we won't get into the whole race part because, honestly, I just have different opinions when it comes to that. I feel like... they're not actually talking about our skin color when they talk about the slaves and stuff like that, especially back in the time of the Anunnaki and all that. So we'll save that for another show. But I am interested to... One can feel the energy even in video. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're in a very different time. We're in a very different time, guys. I mean, like you can want people to wake up all you want. You can want people to see it for what it is all you want. But it's like wanting sobriety for a drug addict. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's ultimately what it is. They're hooked on the false paradigm. You know, their body, their mind, their spirit rejects what's real. Their spirit rejects truth. It's like they need that junk. They need the fix. They're controlled by their emotions. You know, they're double-minded. You know, and that's why they're tossed to and fro. And, you know, the Bible says that. And people think that if they give themselves entirely to a religion, that it's going to save their ass. I hate to tell you, it's not. You know, that's part of the programming, too. That's made me very unpopular over the years. You know, when I started off all of this, I was a Christian fundamentalist for real. If there was a good label for me. You know, anybody would know that. Anybody who's watched me for years and years knows that, you know. And people think that I just sold out or, you know, whatever, became a devil worshiper because I changed. And it's like, it wasn't that I stopped loving Jesus or stopped loving God or anything like that. It's my idea and my view of God and Christ and all of that evolved. My understanding got deeper. Yeah. And not everybody's at the same place at the same time, and I'm not here to tell you what to believe at all. You know, you believe what you want. And that was always been the premise of this channel and this community, is that everybody is welcome. Gay, straight, white, black, Christian, Luciferian, I don't give a fuck. Those are all labels to me. They mean nothing. If you're a human being, then you're welcome. Because we're of the same family. We're of the same people. We're of the same soul, whether you know it or not. Whether you acknowledge it or not, I know it. And that's all I've always known it at a base level. And you know, when you do stuff like this, and you're going to see this in your life too, I know this just isn't for content creators and whatever, right? This is for anybody speaking truth. People are going to try to discredit what you're saying based on your fuck-ups, right? They'd be like, you have no room to talk about this because you were a drug addict, or you have no room to talk about this because you cheated on your husband, or blah, blah, blah. You know? They're always going to try to discredit your experience. They're always going to try to discredit your truth based on your past, based on the mistakes you've made. But it's like, without mistakes, how the fuck will we learn? You know? Show me somebody that hasn't made a mistake in their life. Show me somebody that hasn't, slipped and fell and tripped and fell on their journey called life. I'll show you somebody that's full of shit if they say they haven't. But that's what they'll try to do to you. You guys know this. Or they'll try to alienate you. You know? Oh, you're crazy, or you're weird, or you're evil, or whatever, right? To try to make you feel like you're not, you don't fit in. Let me ask you, at this point in the game, do you want to fit in? Do you really want to fit in? Ask yourself that fucking question. Do you really want to fit in now? I used to want to, guys. I mean it. I used to want to so fucking bad. I used to want to be accepted so bad. It hurt my feelings so much that the world just never accepted me for who I was. I fucking hated it. God damn, I hated it. Whew, it sucked. I hated it. I would go on dates with girls and they'd think I was fucking weird, or I was just, I could never talk about the things I really wanted to talk about because people's fucking eyes would glaze over, But now it's like I'm grateful. Rejection is God's protection. Sometimes rejection is God's protection, and think about it. If there truly is this elect or this remnant that has been set aside, for a specific time and for a specific purpose, for a specific reason, how did they get set aside? Because they were rejected. Society didn't want them. Society didn't see their fucking value. And the sad truth is, guys, is even the people like you and me that you would think would accept us and would see our value, they didn't either. They didn't either. But I think they will now. I think now. Now is that time where everything changes. Now is that time where people see not only can people change, but we are meant to change. We're born for change and growth and evolution. And that it's those who refuse to change and hold on to mediocrity and monotony and hold on to routine and hold on to what's safe and, what they know, that never truly live and experience the adventure or the journey that we call life. When I enter people's life, guys, I'm telling you, I shake their fucking lives up. And sometimes I turn their shit totally upside down. Not everybody has a good experience when I enter their life. I can promise you that, and I bet yours is the same. How many of you guys in the chat, the comment section, have noticed whenever you are brought in or called in to a person's life, their shit just totally flips upside down? It's like, you can't bring somebody that's not bound by reality into a reality and not expect them to do some Superman shit inside of it, And that's what you guys are, supermen, superwomen. You have gifts. You have skills. You're powerful. You're special and you're different. And I know some of you, sadly, feel that the only reason that you're special and you're different is because of the club you're in or where you were initiated or whatever, and that's okay. I'm not saying you're not. I still believe you are. But that isn't the only way to become special. You know, that starts in here. You know, when we initiate ourselves, we don't need a governing body to tell us how to explore the depths of our own soul. There is no instructions on how to do that. Yeah, there's experience in preferred methods and rites and rituals and all different ways to experiment within the self and to tap into different parts of our being. And I'm not opposed to those things. And I'm not opposed to people who go that route. But I'm saying it's not necessary. It's not the only way. And what a lot of people will hate you for, and that's kind of like this other elitist thing, those who are spiritually enlightened or awake, if they do belong to those kind of things, and you don't, they believe the fact that you didn't have to take an oath to get your gifts, that you don't deserve them somehow, or that you're their enemy. I don't know why. It seems really small-minded. Seems very weak. But that's how some of them think. They're afraid. Everybody is, you know, and ultimately it doesn't matter how enlightened a person claims to be. Most people, still at the end of the day, they just fear what they do not understand. And they can't understand or fathom a person that doesn't need anything outside of themselves. They all regurgitate it in their spiritual circles, in their Facebook posts, in their fucking bullshit videos. But none of them believe it, guys. You want to know how I know they don't believe it? Their lifestyle says so. Their lifestyle says so. They live for the approval of others. They live for what's outside of them, not just to justify, but to qualify what's on the inside. And it should be the other fucking way around. You know? All that is outside of ourselves should be qualified by what's within each and every one of us. Not us living for the approval of the experience. We are the fucking experience. And the only approval that matters is our own. Yeah, and you know what? I feel like it's been a while since I've been able to speak freely. But I feel like I haven't had an audience that even wants to hear this shit in a long time. You know? Just to keep it real. I get tired of I get tired of fucking myself feeling complacent. But it's like I know we're at this special time, and I know we're on the cusp of something so goddamn great within each and every one of us that I can feel it. I can feel it. It's like it's rising, it's coming. But the only way we will truly ever experience this, and I mean this, is if we stop allowing our fucking past, if we stop allowing our fucking experiences to dictate the way that we behave and to dictate the way that we treat others and to dictate the way that we display our own gifts and to dictate the way that we create the reality around us. No more allowing what's hurt us to keep us from loving other people. No more allowing what's robbed us to keep us from helping other people. No more allowing what is taking advantage of us to keep us from opening up to other people. We have to finally be in control if we truly want to dominate our own reality and create a collective one that we all actually want to be a fucking part of. You want to know who the real elites are? It's you. It's you. You want to know who the real hidden hand is? It's you. You're just not aware of the fact that you got the goddamn pencil in your hand. You are the scribe. You are the pencil. But you're in God's hand. He's using you just like a utensil to create the very reality you exist in. Are you going to stop trying to control the outcome to favor the ideas that others have given to you and impressed upon you because you think that's what it's supposed to be? Or are you going to start allowing it to flow through you and allow it to be free when it does the way that it's meant to be? Don't stop yourself from becoming great. Don't stop yourself from experiencing all this experience has to offer by putting leashes on yourself, by putting, cages around yourself, by putting yourself in boxes. Like, we have to stop this. Like, at what point do we figure it out? At what point do we see beyond the illusion? At what point do we see that we are the ones that are in control? At what point do we stop blaming the fucking New World Order and the Illuminati for our goddamn downfalls and our problems? At what point do we stop blaming the government for all their bullshit? At what point do we stop blaming our neighbor because we're pissed off? At what point do we stop blaming blah, blah, blah? Like, if you're a powerful manifester and you're a conscious creator, then it's all on you. It always has been, it always will be. So it's like you can get off of your knees. Get off of your knees and stop begging for some invisible deity to come down and swoop you up and save you from all of this that you've created yourself. Or you can realize that you've created it yourself because you are a piece of that powerful being. You are a piece of it. And your job as a piece of it is to serve all the other pieces in a powerful way. In a way that betters not just yourself, but everyone. That's your job. It's your only fucking job. That's what makes the experience greater. That's what makes your life richer. And that's what will, when you project out goodness, when you project out kindness, when you project out love, I promise you, the only thing that there is to return to you is just that. And it's like hard to overcome the doubt. We've been instilled with so many fears and so many doubts. And guys, I struggle with it every day. Like thinking, can I overcome my limitations? These limitations. And manifest the reality I believe in. And manifest my dream. Every day it's a struggle. But I've done it so many different ways and so many different times that I know it's possible. And I know you have too. And we are selling the waves of consciousness if you really want to think about it. So are you going to keep letting these skull and bone pirates hijack our spiritual booty? Our fucking gold? Our spiritual value? Or are we going to, take to the seas and wage war on anything that is in alignment with our highest good? And not do it by destroying ourselves or different elements of ourselves, but do it through love and just strictly raising our vibration, raising our frequency. I'm so sick of doing the news. Can I be honest? Does anybody give a shit anymore? I'm so sick of doing the news. I know you guys like these videos and you want to see these videos, but I just don't want to fucking talk about this regurgitated nonsense anymore. Is that okay with people? Can I just go back to doing esoteric shit again? Can I just make tarot videos? Can I just do something else but besides repeat a fucking narrative that is only dragging you down into a swamp of fucking chaos and destruction and self-loathing? Please. Please. Yeah. Like, I'm just sick of it. Like, honestly, I say this to people when I'm talking, on the phone off of this. It's like, I can't do another video this way. Honestly, I don't believe in it. And it's like, I know that probably crushes some people who wanted to be scared tonight. But I'm sorry. I'm sick of scaring you. There's nothing to be scared of. I just want to empower people. And I don't care if they kill me. I don't feel like they can, but let's just say they do. Then I'll have died for a good cause by exposing something most people had to sell their fucking souls to get. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And I don't think they can. Just to be honest, I feel like they can't touch any of us unless we allow that and manifest that and bring that onto ourselves. And that is the greatest illusion of all, is feeling like you're powerless over these dark forces or whatever is outside of you. That's the only way it can ever fuck you up, is if you fuck yourself up. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And yeah, I see some people laughing. Hey, I get on one sometimes, man. I love you guys. I enjoy doing videos. I love that part. I love getting on here and talking. I love sharing information and all of that. I love that. That's the greatest. I can honestly feel your guys' vibe whenever I do this in the chat. It's so awesome. I can explain to you the high I get from this shit. I love it. And the sense of purpose too. I know you understand that because you have it too. Like whenever you're sharing information with someone or whenever you're posting on your social media, you feel that sense of purpose too. It's like you're doing something good. You're pushing people in the right direction. Or at least pushing your reality into the right direction. You're making your reality align with who you are in here. And that's just what I'm trying to do with this. And it's like I want other people to stand up to all the shit too. I feel like we're ready. Like the training wheels should come off now. I can't tell you, I bit my tongue for like fucking almost 2 years now. Seriously. I started experiencing these wild gifts about 2 years ago, a year or two ago. And I've had to bite my tongue on the shit. I haven't been able to share what's been going on with me really, and it's like, damn, I feel like we're ready now. I feel like the training wheels can come off. I feel like we're all kind of at this point to where we can see the writing on the wall and we're ready to fly. Like each and every one of us, individually and collectively, we're ready to fly, We understand what's going on now. We see it. And it's like, I'm not going to teach you much, if anything, that you don't already know, but maybe I can at least bounce some confirmation off of you, and confirm what you already do know within yourself and provide you with at least, that way you don't feel fucking crazy when you're thinking the same things, and then you have people to chat it up with, in the communities and all of that as well, and maybe it's a cause to get behind. I don't know. Whatever it means to you, I'm happy with that, and just know that you mean something to me. So Yeah, we are already. There's no doubt. Every name I see in the chat has been here for years, and I promise you, I've talked to probably 99.99% of them on the phone and text. These people have helped me through hard times in my life. These people have shared knowledge and wisdom, and just, man, that's like real ass family. For real. Like, you can't, like, soul family, family you choose. I've been through some hard shit, man. For real. Like, I've been through some hard shit, and I'm not whining or complaining. I'm thankful for everything, every bit of it. But I'm even more thankful for the people that got me through all that. So, I love all of you guys. I am going to wrap it up. Please consider donating and supporting to my channel, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or you can also do it through Facebook Messenger Pay. The links are in the description box down below. All those who donate, it's greatly appreciated. I don't care if it's a fucking dollar or $1,000. Like, I appreciate it. Not only does it help me to live my life and just, it helps me to do this, and I'm grateful. Book your own personal tarot reading. I'm getting more people booking them now. I would love to be able to say there's no openings. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to say we're all booked up. That's what I'm hoping to be able to say one day soon, and I will soon. But for now, we still have openings. So you can do that by texting 513-393-2396 or emailing therealbestdamnpodcast@gmail.com, and they start at $50. I promise you there's no tarot reader that cheap. Go look. And I'm not bad. Just saying, I'm not bad. I'm pretty good with it. And I've been doing that for a couple of years now too. I love it. It's a passion of mine. And people don't like that either. I don't give a shit. I love it. And I do incorporate the astrology and all that as well. Make sure to follow us Instagram, Facebook at Best Damn Podcast, Twitter, The Real Best Damn, TikTok. I drop the daily reads on TikTok, Facebook, and I try to hit here on YouTube as well. We have all 12 signs for the month, the longer reads. I have 4 signs left. I have 3 of them left to do. You guys should be seeing Sagittarius as soon as this video is done, hopefully. And make sure to check out the live podcast as well. Go subscribe on all the platforms, BitChute, Rumble, all of that. And join us over on Patreon to get exclusive content and a private playlist. I'm trying to bring more and more stuff, guys. It's just hard. I'm a one-man show. It's like I got all these platforms and I don't have no help, except my wonderful moderator, which Kim kicks motherfucking ass. It's the best mod I've ever had in my life. Just saying. She's great. So I appreciate that. But yeah, guys, make sure to hit the like, give this a thumbs up, subscribe, all the platforms. The links are all in the description, and I try to pin them at the top of the comment sections as well. Share the links, share them to your social medias and groups and all of that, and make sure when you thumbs up and you comment and you subscribe, it allows it to come back into your feed and into others' feed as well. So thank you so much for watching. We might as well finish this one old school. Remember, guys, it really is. It's up to you. And when I know I said for years, Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. It's because that Christ is within you. You are the truth, the way, and the life. Just in case you haven't caught on by now. So, I love you guys. I will see you next time. Peace.